Hey guys, welcome back. We're looking now at 3.4 bow beat. We're discussing eighth notes, not as just a regular pair of eighth notes, but a beam group. In this case, we're talking about even numbered eighth notes that are grouped together or with a beam connecting the flags. Now, what you see here is at the very top, at least on page 22, is four eighth notes with their flags equals the same thing as two pairs of eighth notes that are beamed together equals the same thing as if you saw all four eighth notes all beamed together in one beam group. Okay, so it's exactly counted the same way. For example, look at measure 1 of 3.4 bow beat. We have two pairs of eighth notes, one on beat 1 and one pair on beat 2, and then two quarter notes. The rhythm here is 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, those are two pairs of eighth notes. Beat 1 has a pair, beat 2 has a pair. Now look at measure 3. Okay, we're going to skip measure 2 because there's just four quarter notes. Measure 3 has the same rhythm, it just looks different. Exactly played the same, exactly counted the same, just looks different because the composer decided to connect them or beam them all together. There's a specific rule that we talk about when composing, why we have to use that rule. But in this case, don't worry about it. All four are played exactly the same as eighth notes are beamed together, and then beat 3 and 4 just regular quarter notes. So the same thing we do in a big measure 1 is the same thing we do in measure 3. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So let's count and clap all of 3.4 together so you can kind of get the idea of what it's supposed to sound like. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, rest. Okay, now let's try air bowing. This is exactly what I need from you guys, is to record yourself air bowing counting 3.4. So get your bow, have your metronome set up no matter what tempo it is, as long as, of course, the eighth notes are separated evenly enough, not being rushed, not played faster than the other eighth notes, always evenly spaced out. So here it is 3.4 air bowing counting. 3 and go. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, rest. And that's all you need to do for your recording for 3.4. Now let's go to 3.5, Pizza on the River. Pizza on the River is going to have the same exact kind of concept with the grouping of four eighth notes beamed together. You'll notice that it has the same similar rhythm rather of 3.4 on 3.5. But let's talk about the form first. How are we going to read the music? You should remember how first and second endings work, because this is what it has. We play measure 1, measure 2, measure 3, measure 4, where it has the repeat sign first ending. That repeat sign tells us to go back to measure 1, play measure 2, play measure 3, but this time skip measure 4, the first ending, and go to the second ending, measure 5. All right. So let's go over what it's supposed to sound like with the notes, right? We got the rhythm down. We know what it's supposed to sound like as far as rhythm goes. Now let's see what it's supposed to sound like pitch-wise with the rhythm. So we have D, 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 F sharp, E, F sharp, open A, D, 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 E, F sharp, G, E, D, 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 F sharp, E, F sharp, open A, D, 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 F sharp, E, D. Okay? Now let's try it with our singering. We're going to pluck and sing 3.5. We're not going to bow it just yet. So I have here my cello. We're going to try not air bowing. We're going to try singering. We're going to pluck and sing the notes so we know what it's supposed to be playing. I know it's a lot of stuff going on, but it helps you really solidify what's happening in the music and how to present it with your bow later on. It's going to be a little bit of work, but let's try it. It might be a little bit too fast, but again, let's try it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, 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 F sharp, E, F sharp, open A, D, 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 E, F sharp, G, E, D, 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 F sharp, E, F sharp, A, D, 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 F sharp, E, D, rest. Of course, in the rest, when you're plucking, mute the string. Now let's try adding the bow. So cellos, pay close attention. I'm going to scoot back and drop down the camera a little bit so you can see my bow movement as well as my hand movement. So the entire playing part of the recording. Okay, I'm going to tilt this back a bit. It's a bit high. Get my metronome started. Grab my bow. And let's see what it's supposed to sound like now as you play Pizza on the River. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is, there it is for cello. So now let's try it with the violin / viola because that's the same thing. All right, so here's the violin. I have my metronome set up, started, instrument out to my left side. Here is 3.5, Pizza on the River. Now, viola, you follow the same suit. Wrist position, arm position, all that kind of stuff. You just play on a different string, numbered string rather than the D string. Anyways, you get the idea. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there you have it. So make sure that when you guys are practicing using a metronome, that you're always practicing keeping the eighth notes nice and even. Don't rush them. They'll go ba da 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 da. Right? We got to make sure that it's all rhythmically the same. Because our pitches I'm not too worried about necessarily. It's the rhythm that I'm worried about now for these two exercises. So for your assignment, again, record yourself air bowing and counting 3.4 bow beat, and then playing 3.5 Pizza on the River. So good luck and enjoy.